What's poppin'? It's your boy, the boy Henry Heck, back yet again. Back yet again with another video. And today I want to speak on an article came out whereas Ubisoft executive spoke to gamers transitioning on over to, consuming games similarly to how they consume music and movies, TV shows, etc. A lot of folk seen the headline and just ran with it, didn't read it, then dive into it, because the headline is, as they say, salacious. That's what the folks say, salacious. And it was like I see something like that, I'm clicking, I'm finna read, because a lot of times you have a headline that is clickbait. They'll take a specific phrase that they know will elicit an emotional response, and that'll be the headline. You know what I mean? Such and such said this, such and such that said that. But to be honest, the headline was pretty in line with what was said. But still, you would have to read the article to understand where this individual is coming from. Because this individual is over subscription services at Ubisoft. So of course, he would be pushing for gamers to choose to consume games in that way. Because I'm sure he probably got some kind of bonus predicated on subscriber numbers. If we get a peak this month, he probably get an extra few thousand. You know what I mean? Extra 25 band him. We jump 25% in subscribers. 25 band, here you go. 25 band. So it would make sense for this individual to say that and to make that push, because that's the nature of his job. That's the nature of his business. That's how he provide for his family. That's how he, that's how he getting money. Just as in any other avenue of business, they would prefer a customer to acquiesce to their way of business. If I sell barbecue grills, of course I'm gonna be up here telling you the barbecue grill is the best thing in the world, and everybody need you barbecue grill. Come trying to sell barbecue grill. Everybody need to be barbecuing. If I sell cast iron pans, of course, cast iron pan the best thing since sliced bread. Because I want everybody to acquiesce and buy cast iron pan, because that's the business I'm in. I'm selling cast iron, baby. Now, where he does have a point is when he's referencing your music, he's referencing your movies. A lot of folk, that's how they consuming that content right there. And as we've seen, physical media is on the decline. We've seen it. Now the difference being between your digital, you consuming digitally versus physically, and in between, it ain't even in between. But then you got your subscription right here. You got your subscription, which is a very clear difference between physical and even digital. It's a big difference, because you only have access to this content so long as you're paying the subscription. Once you start paying this subscription, you no longer have access to this content, which is where I think in gaming, it's gonna be an issue right there. You know what I'm saying? We not really seeing a high rise in we ain't really seeing high rise subscription nowhere, to be honest with you. But I don't think that gamers are gonna just jump into this to where I pay. I mean, you got your Game Pass games, they gonna do that. They just been conditioned to do that. But you're not finna get a PlayStation or Nintendo game or a PC game to do that. It's not about to happen. They just gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying? Because you generally do come out cheaper just straight up buying it, rather than paying the subscription price, having access to a whole bunch of games you're not even gonna play no way. Because you'll subscribe for like 1 or 2 games, and you paying this money this whole time after you beat these whole games. After you beat these 2 games, you having to wait till something else you want to play come out before you really get your money's worth. Having access to it ain't getting your money's worth. You know what I'm saying? Because I can have access to uh an unlimited supply of sweet peas, English peas. That don't do me no good because I don't eat peas. You know what I'm saying? So having unlimited access to stuff you're not gonna use anyway, it's no benefit to it. It's no value there. When you're on subscribing for specific things, that's why the difference between you got a subscription service like Game Pass, we have access to a vast amount of games. Then you have a specific game to which you have to pay a subscription for. Like you got your World of Warcraft, you got your Final Fantasy 14, I think it's 14, where you paying specifically for that. I think $11, $15. I think World of Warcraft like $15, $20. I ain't played in so long. I forget how much it costs. It may have even gone up. But that's different than paying to access a whole bunch of stuff you're not gonna play. You know what I mean? And it sparked a whole bunch of conversation, specifically from the thieves, specifically from the Jack Sparrows of the world. I seen the comment said, if buying is not owning, then piracy is not stealing. And I've seen a multitude of variation of that particular situation. In my mind, I'm like, brother, you can still buy these games. This man is just speaking towards subscription services. When you subscribe to something, obviously you don't own it. It's obvious. When you subscribe to Netflix, you don't own that show. You don't own it. You paying for access for a certain period of time. That's the nature of subscription service. I subscribe to YouTube Premium. I listen to these musics on YouTube Music. I don't own none of this music. I don't own none of these albums. You know, if I like an album, I go buy a vinyl. You know what I mean? But I have to really like the album to go do that. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I do that. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of folks just subscribe to your Spotify, and that's just how they consume their music. This is how they do. I'm personally not. We in the minority. Physical is down, obviously. You know what I mean? I buy Blu-rays. You know what I'm saying? To my favorite movies. Some folks just watch the Netflix, catch it on now. When it's gone, it's gone. They wait around till next time. That's the thing that really got me to start back buying movies, because once upon a time, Beverly Hills Cop was on Netflix. And I used to just watch it, you know what I mean? They're my favorite movie. And one day I go watch it, that joint gone. It's gone. I said, what the fuck is this? Now I'm buying physical because that's annoying to me. You know what I'm saying? That's annoying to me. You paying for a service, and of course they don't promise that everything in the service gonna stay in the service. That's just the nature of the service. Stuff leave, which is another issue with services like Game Pass. Stuff leave. You might subscribe for a specific game. One day that joint gone, and you just in the water. You just dead in the water. You're gonna have to go out and buy that game anyway if you want to keep playing it. So you might as well just buy it out the gate. You understand what I'm saying? You might as well just purchase that joint, call it evening. You got access to it whenever you want to. It is what it is, whether you purchase it digitally or physically. Because a lot of folks like to say when you buy digitally, you don't own it. Let's stop the nonsense. Something extraordinary will have to happen for you to not have access to your digitally purchased game. Something extraordinary. Something super extraordinary that don't normally happen. We've been buying digitally for damn near a century. And anytime something has, we've lost access to something, it either have been a multiplayer game that's just the nature of something. Some of them just shut down. It's just nature of them. It just happened. Because even if you bought it physically, you still wouldn't be able to play it. So it don't even matter on that front. You know what I mean? That's just how it goes sometimes when you get you a multiplayer game. But I just really found it interesting that people automatically jump to stealing. Stealing when you still have the option to just buy the game. You know what I mean? Ubisoft is not moving no needle. Ubisoft ain't controlling no waves of gamers and all this type. And if you think Ubisoft finna not sell no games, you think they got some. You think they gonna stop selling Assassin's Creed and just throw it on subscription service? They gonna stop selling. Well, that's pretty much all they got to really just sell. I mean, folks still playing Siege, but until another new Siege come out, it just is what it is. But they not finna lose out on that money, straight up full retail price for a push for services. That's not finna happen. It's just not realistic, especially with how we see subscription services across the board just plateauing. They ain't really growing like that. And even like I said, movies, I'm not sure how music is doing. But as far as like TV movies and all that type of stuff, it get to a point where it ain't no growth there. It's only so many people that's gonna do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, new people are born every day, but new people born every day don't necessarily got no money, no debit card, etc. You know what I mean? So I just really found it interesting how people are so quick to jump to stealing when they not saying that you're not gonna have the option to buy it. You still can buy the game. You know. And this guy is over services. Of course, he's gonna try to push people to get into service. You can still not subscribe. So I just think it was blown up to be something that it really didn't. It ain't no big deal, bro. It ain't no big deal. You know, I seen that people wanted to crucify Ubisoft. Of course, Ubisoft has been in this position for a few years now, where people just like to shit on Ubisoft because they produced a couple. I won't say a couple. They produced a fair amount of games that just seem the same. They have a lot of long-running franchises and IP that I guess people are just tired of at this point, and them throwing a open world mechanics on all of them it just made everything too similar. Because like we got, at one point you had Ghost Recon, you had The Division. I think we even had 2 different Ghost Recons at one point. And maps all pretty much looked the same. They all pretty much played the same. And then they had Watchdog Legions that felt and that pretty much played the same. It had a few different mechanics in there, but it pretty much played the same as all the other military shooters. Then you had Far Cry. All the Far Cries pretty much played the same, and it's just I think it's just a Ubisoft fatigue. You know what I'm saying? But because they do have a game in every genre that is doing pretty well. They got a first-person shooter doing pretty well in Siege. Third-person shooter is doing pretty well, Division 2. Racing game, The Crew. You cannot like The Crew. A lot of people like The Crew. They got The Crew. They got a game. They got Brawlhalla. They got For Honor. Whether you like them two or not, they got it, and people are still playing it. They keep these games running. They got I forget the name of the biking game, with like the extreme sports game they had. They got Uno. They got Just Dance. They got Rayman. They got a lot of games spread across a lot of genres, and I personally don't. They fucked up a fair. They got Creed. They got Creed coming up. They got a Star Wars game coming up. Like these folks are working, and I understand they got kind of like a assembly factory type of feel to a lot of the games that they was putting out. But I think, you know what I'm saying, they had a bad few years. They learned from that. They're not really doing that no more. You know what I mean? It just left a bad taste in folks' mouth. So that on top of this guy coming up pushing services, that it just made for a storm to which everybody that was already shitting on Ubisoft was like, yep, we got another reason to hate Ubisoft again. We got another reason to shit on Ubisoft again. We got another reason to steal their games, etc. Which I think is just foolishness, bro. Cause they not saying that they're not gonna sell you games no more. They're not saying you're not gonna have the opportunity to buy games no more, nothing like that. It's just this guy over services is pushing for people to subscribe most of the services, and he wanted people to adopt the attitude that they've already adopted toward music, TVs, and movies. It's the nature of his job. You know what I mean? Him doing that don't automatically mean that buying is not owning, so stealing is not stealing. Oh, I mean, piracy is not stealing. That don't, nah, bro. Stop it. I mean, if you want to steal, that's your business. I'm not gonna sit up here and try to convince nobody not to steal. That's your business. Grown folk. Thieves gonna do what thieves gonna do. You know, ain't no reason to look for a reason try to justify your stealing. You know, if you're a thief, just hey, I steal games. I don't steal games, but if you steal a game, that's your business. That's your business. You shouldn't be. I don't think you should be on Twitter now, saying loudly, proclaiming that you finna be out here stealing, just because you don't like what a particular person said, which what he said hadn't even come to fruition in the first place. You know what I mean? It's just the nature of the business. Like, you can't be mad at the Coca-Cola man doing the interview and say, yeah, man, we just really need to get people to drink more Coca-Cola. You know, all these other people over here drink Coca-Cola, so we finna push to try to get everybody drinking Coca-Cola. You know what I mean? He sell Coca-Cola, man. What you want him to do? Push folk drink Sprite? Push folk drink Mountain Dew? Push folk drink Gatorade? Push folk drink water? Come on now. And the Coca-Cola company do like sell bottled water and stuff. But you get your point trying to make. You get point trying to make. But yeah, I just seen that, thought it was interesting. I wanted to touch base, talk on that right quick. I will catch y'all in the next one.